Greetings, my champions. I hope you had a blessed day all over the world where you are watching us from. Welcome to Live with Chatufa. It seems the events that we have seen happening in the days of Robert Mugabe are repeating themselves, just one after the other. Mnangagwa is just walking exactly in the very same path that we saw Robert Mugabe walking. And we've always been saying that we are never going to be expecting a different result from what we saw happening to Mugabe, because Mnangagwa is just reading from the notes of Mugabe. We are seeing this happening not only to him, but as well as to his wife, because his wife is also equally as bad, if not even worse, than what we thought we saw with Robert Mugabe's wife, Grace Mugabe, because Grace Mugabe was one pain in the neck for the Zimbabwean people, and we thought we had seen enough. We had seen it all with Robert Mugabe's wife, but we had not seen anything. Auxillia Mnangagwa is on the overdrive of making it even worse than what we saw with Grace Mugabe. Auxillia Mnangagwa evicts Mazowe villagers in a land grab scare, and I don't know what is really happening or what is really wrong with this Mazowe area, because it seems the war of these first ladies taking land in Mazowe. It was happening also with Grace Mugabe. You still remember the issues about Grace Mugabe fighting quite a lot of families, evicting families, arresting, sending police to destroy the infrastructure that those villagers had built. And she wanted to be taking over pieces of land. It happened quite many times with Grace Mugabe. And we are seeing Auxillia Mnangagwa also going exactly the same direction. And we are saying, what is wrong? We have never really had a mother, in Zimbabwe. We just have hooligans for mothers. The Standard Zim reports that several villagers have been arrested at Arnold Farm in Mazowe on charges of trespassing and unlawful occupation of state land that is allegedly being eyed by First Lady Auxillia Mnangagwa. Imagine, it is being eyed, but it's already declared as state land when Auxilia is just eyeing for that land. And one thing that is so painful, of course, about this whole scenario is that when we look at how this family has destroyed Zimbabwe, how this family has stolen from Zimbabweans, how this family has made itself filthy rich from the resources, the properties of Zimbabwe, the land of Zimbabwe, natural resources of Zimbabwe, and even finances, right, in the government coffers. They take money as willy nilly. We know of this woman taking quite 60 million US dollars here and 60 million again. Second time, I think it happened about 3-4 times, where she was taking such amounts of monies from ministerial departments, and then she would use it for some funny events, knowing that that is just some cover up. At the end of the day, she just pockets the money, and they don't care, and they don't even feel sympathy for the Zimbabwean people. Our situation in Zimbabwe is pathetic, really, because we have people who are so heartless, who never think about the suffering masses of Zimbabwe. You don't follow some villagers who are also trying to make their own living in some distant area, remote areas, deep down in the sticks, and you sitting and living in the fortresses, and you have everything that you need. You live everywhere, you go wherever you want, you can fly to any country at any time, but you want to go and destroy a homestead of poor people who can't even help themselves, who don't even have power to defend themselves. And that is what we are seeing with this Mnangagwa family. And that's why the fight for freedom for Zimbabwe must never be underestimated. We really need to continue fighting as Zimbabwe to make sure that we take back the country from the hands of these evil leaders that we have seen in Zimbabwe. Auxillia Mnangagwa is on record for many evil things that she has done in Zimbabwe, with people even dying, with their families being victimized and things like that. And at instruction, we've known of people that have been arrested, maimed, and their properties destroyed. And that remains a woman who is supposed to be a mother of a nation. And you do ask yourself to say, what really is happening? And why only in Zimbabwe do we have such first ladies? When we look at other countries, let's look at Botswana. You never hear of Masisi's wife. Look at South Africa. You never hear of Ramaphosa's wife. Look at Zambia. You never hear of HH's wife. Look at Angola. We don't even know the first lady of Angola. You know, all the countries that you can talk about, it is just the same scenario. You know, we knew of Nyusi, who is the outgoing Mozambican president. We've never, I don't think I've even seen News's wife. But these are our own in Zimbabwe. They are always on the headlines. They are always in the news for the wrong reasons. And that is very sad and very pathetic. And for our country really to prosper at the hands of these people, it can't, because all this news goes around and it goes all over, and the world is watching and the world is seeing this. And at the end of the day, they are the ones that are shouting and calling for the sanctions to be removed, and Zimbabwe open for business and things like that. And they think that just by sloganeering and making noise about those, then people of the world shall just respond to it. It doesn't. People research about the country, they read the news, they listen to what is happening in that particular country before they can decide to want to come and invest in any country. And that is our problem. So ZANU-PF will never uplift the economy of Zimbabwe, never, because of their lawlessness, because of their ruthlessness, the lack of the rule of law in Zimbabwe, and then state capture that we have seen at the hands of ZANU-PF, Emmerson Mnangagwa, and his family. And this has been a very sad thing, and it is destroying ZANU-PF right now. As we are watching the events that are happening in ZANU-PF, we are seeing that there's quite a lot of fights in ZANU-PF, all because Mnangagwa wants to control everything, including controlling the party and putting it in his pocket as if it's a personal property. Unfortunately, there are people that will always resist when things go that way. And that is the resistance that Mnangagwa faces right now. And we are seeing that his days are getting numbered because of the factional fights that he has created right inside ZANU-PF. So this is what it is, family. Very unprofessional and uncouth politicians that we have in Zimbabwe, who really must see the door and go, and we begin to work out our country and bring Zimbabwe back to normalcy. Otherwise, we can never get anywhere with these kind of people. Very evil and very sadistic, and they don't care what happens to the suffering masses of Zimbabwe. Thank you so much for those that are joining me on this show. And of course, as always, subscribe to the channel, like and share, and also put a comment and tell us what you think. Otherwise, let's meet in the upcoming show. You are blessed. Shalom and shalom.